ahead and get started. All right. We're going to start, well, before we get started, if you're following along with the playlist, it's number 44 today. Go ahead and get that going. And we get started in a seated position if that's comfortable. We won't spend too much time at the beginning. But let's start just finding a nice comfortable spot, or if it's more comfortable to extend the legs out a little bit more, that's fine too. Okay. And then in that comfortable spot, let's take our left hand and bring it to our heart, our right hand just on our bellies. And just start engaging in a nice deep inhale and exhale. Starting to feel that breath and feel the extent of that breath as it fills up through our lungs and our belly. Trying to just feel the lift of our bodies on those inhales and the softening on the exhales. As long as just feel the extent of that breath. And what we're going to try and practice today is a yama called Asteya, which means non-stealing. Which means allowing ourselves to stay in the moment. Anytime we get detracted or distracted, it steals away from our practice. It steals away from our practice, and it steals away from our mindfulness in our practice. Our ability to stay focused, and our ability to find not only the mental and mindful side of our practice, but the physical side of our practice as well. So just allowing ourselves to just be in this moment. Allows ourselves to experience it for what it is. Especially in this time, in this day and age, it's really easy. The mind's wandering, the emotions are all over the place, and we're feeling less than, we're feeling like we should be doing something other than what we're doing. We feel like we should be accomplishing more. Allow yourself the compassion of just finding the grace of the moment. When we use that word compassion, that means typically put somebody else's shoes on and walk a mile in their shoes. Well, walk a mile in your own shoes right now and find that compassion for where you're at, just so we know that we're not stealing away from our ability to have good conscious moments today, happiness and joy, and allowing ourselves to just recognize what's going on is what's going on. It is what it is. And so allow ourselves to experience whatever we're experiencing right now and being more in the moment. Don't steal away from our own consciousness. Good. As we continue to breathe in, let's deepen the inhales and lengthen the exhales using that nice long breath. And that long breath will guide our path, guide our way into our yoga practice today. It'll guide our movements, it'll guide the pace in which we move, and it'll guide the depth in which we find ourselves in various postures. So at any point in time, if we find that breath is constrained, if we find that breath is not as free-flowing as it is right now in this seated position, then that's a good signal for us to ease back. Good. Let's bring our hands onto our laps and begin just rocking in some circles, It's a nice gentle way to get our practice started. Start just reaching into our back a little bit and into our hips. And then go ahead and switch directions on those circles. I'm still trying to maintain that deep inhale even though we're not connecting movement and breath right now. Very nice. So we find stillness. Let's bring our hands to heart center and begin just fanning our arms up to the sides. Inhale up nice and high. Bring those hands together and exhale to our heart center. Let's do that 4 more times. Again, connecting movement and breath and practicing our ability to connect that movement and breath. A lot of times I'll start my practice with some style of yoga move like this to practice our ability to connect that movement and breath, and even to allow ourselves to feel the depth of the inhales and the length of those exhales with the movement of that breath. Good. One last time here as we exhale back to heart center. And let's take that right hand and just reach up to the side. Reach up nice and high. Look at that right hand, just lean over. Pressing our hips to the right side as our hand is moving towards the left. And just helping us to reach into the right side of our body. Through those ribs and down to our hips. And then with our breath, let's stretch from the inside out. Breathe in as deeply as you can to expand those lungs and expand that rib cage. Feel that stretch all the way up into our shoulder. Awesome. Good, let's bring that right hand through, and then inhale that left hand on up, and lean over, pressing our hips toward the left side, towards the left wall, as if we're trying to just press our hips onto that wall. And then maybe looking up at the left fingertips, and then using our breath to stretch and feel even more. So on those next inhales, breathe in as much as you can, expand those ribs and lungs. Good. All right, so exhale and bring that hand through. And then we're going to forward fold. Inhale up and forward fold. And we're going to just dynamically move through that. So reach forward. Exhale as we drape those hands back. Inhale and exhale forward, and complete that exhale by draping those hands back. Just getting a little bit different angle on our spine. Our spine has six ways it moves, and so we try to hit all 6 of those ways in our yoga practice, just to get that spine moving. Inhale and exhale. It's going to be one more time on the inhale, and then we're going to hold this forward fold out there. Hold it out there. Lean forward. Lean forward. Crawl those fingertips forward on your mat or on the floor in front of you. And then feel that stretch as those shoulders are lengthening, as those arms are lengthening, as those ribs expand with each and every breath. Stand right here, hinging even deeper. Maybe trying to feel your ribs on top of those quads now, as we're hinging just a little bit deeper into this fold. And now with these hands, crawl those hands over to the right side. Over to the right side, either the right corner of your mat or in front of that right corner. And try to sit that left hip back down on the ground so that we're getting a nice deep stretch on the left side of our body through those ribs and down to the hips. Good. Breathe in now, feel those lungs expand, those ribs expand, and reach into the left side of your body. As we exhale and come back to center, take a nice big inhale here, and then walk the hands over to the left corner, to the left side. Good. And then just reach into that right side of our body now, through our shoulder, through our ribs, and down to our hip. Again, you probably feel that right hip lift up off the ground. That's okay. That's okay. Breathe in, expand those ribs as much as you can, and feel that stretch just a little bit more. Okay. Exhale back to center. Take a nice inhale, and then just exhale, walk those hands back. All right. So we're going to come to an upright position, standing position. If you want to try this out from this easy seated position, try to just stand up. Stand up without using your hands on the ground. See if you can do that. Just stand right up, okay? And if that's, if you can't do that, that's fine too. Just stand up any way that you're able to. Okay. All right, I'm going to turn to the side. You go ahead and just face forward on your mat. I'm just going to face the head of my mat. Feet about hip distance apart. We're going to move towards a forward fold. So with our hands right here at heart center, let's inhale up nice and tall, and just exhale and bring those hands past the hips, Practicing that connection with our breath and the movement. Inhale, and then exhale, bring those hands a little bit past the quads now. A little bit hinging in through those hips, and then inhale up and bring those hands a little bit towards the knees now, or maybe just slightly beyond the knees. Good. And then inhale up, and then exhale those hands through the shins, Again, connecting movement and breath. If I'm going too fast, then you go at your own pace. If I'm going too slow, then you go at your own pace. And on this next exhale, we forward fold all the way down, nice long spine as we come down, and either rest those hands on the shins, above or below the knee, or on the block if you have a block or something that elevates the floor to the hands, or just rest those fingertips to the ground. Let's find forward fold position right here. And then from forward fold, we just allow ourselves to relax. Relax through our shoulders, relax through our jaws, and let the crown of the head fall down towards the ground. I still have a soft bend in my knees. Okay, we can just play around with the bend in those knees to get a little bit deeper stretch into the hamstrings and glutes. But this is just one of these positions, this fold position, reaching down, picking something up off the ground, so to speak, or grabbing something and hinging over. It's one of these positions that we want to preserve for as long as we can. And so we practice it often, especially in yoga. Okay? Practice it often in yoga. Good. So stay here just a couple more breaths. Breathe in and out. allowing us to just feel our body settling into this pose, feeling our body getting looser and warmer just by hinging over through those hips. Take one last inhale and exhale. And then in our next inhale, put a little bend in those knees and sweep those hands up nice and tall, up to the sky. Keep those hands up there nice and high. On our next exhale, drop the right hand down and lean over. Keeping that left hand up there and looking at the left fingertips as we drive our hips to the left side. Weight of our body shifting into that left foot as we continue to press our hips to the left side. Good. And then bring that right hand behind our back. As we stand tall, we're going to grab onto that right wrist with that left hand and pull it through, making a wing on the left side. Exhale, our chin to our chest, and bring our left ear to the left shoulder. Relax our jaw space between our teeth and get a nice stretch on the neck and shoulders on the right side. Nice deep breath right here. Standing nice and tall. Breathe in and feel that stretch. Good. Now inhale, both hands right back up to the sky. Exhale, this time the left hand to our side. Reaching the right fingertips up as high as we can. And just leaning over, pressing our hips to the right side of our room. Maybe peeking up at those fingertips and reaching as high as you can through those right fingertips, in through the shoulder and down to those ribs. Then with that left arm, crawl behind your back so that when we stand tall, we'll take that right hand and grab onto the left wrist. Pulling it through, make a wing on the right side. Exhale, our chin to our chest, and bring our right ear to our right shoulder. Good stretch on that left side. Breathe into it. Full extent of that breath. Very nice. Exhale, release, bring our hands to heart center. I'm going to turn to the side. You can stay facing forward just so you can see a little bit better what we're doing. We're going to inhale. We're going to do our version of Sun A, standing up the whole time. Inhale, up nice and tall. And then exhale and forward fold like we did previously, all the way down. Good. And then inhale up to a flat back, draping our hands along our shins, resting below our knees or even above our knees if we want. Good. On our next exhale, we're going to sit back in the chair pose. Bring that tailbone closer to the ground, thumbs up toward the sky. You can also have our hands at heart center, the feet and knees together if you want to. Good. On our next inhale, find that half lift. Drape those hands across those shins, long spine. Exhale, forward fold, bend those knees. Inhale, sweep those hands up nice and tall. And exhale to heart center. Let's do that about 6 more times. Inhale, up. And exhale, and forward fold. Inhale, up to flat back. Exhale, chair pose, sit back. On the next inhale, drape those hands along those shins, flat back. Exhale, bend those knees, forward fold. And inhale, sweep up nice and tall. And exhale to heart center. Good. Keep going. Inhale, reach forward, and exhale on down. Inhale, up, flat back. Exhale, sit down, chair pose. Inhale, up to that flat back, lengthen those legs. Exhale, bend those knees a little bit. Inhale, sweep those hands, reverse that swan dive, right back to heart center. Keep on going as we inhale and reach, and exhale, come on down. Inhale, up to that flat back, and exhale, chair pose. Good. Inhale, up, flat back, and exhale, on down, forward fold. Inhale, sweep those hands nice and tall, right back to heart center. Keep on going as we inhale and reach. We're building heat up into our bodies. Exhale and fold. Inhale up to that flat back. Exhale, chair pose. Good. Inhale back to that flat back. Exhale, a little bend in those knees and strengthen our legs, glutes, and lower back. Sweep those hands nice and tall, right back to heart center again. Good. Inhale up. And exhale, hang on down. Inhale up to flat back, long spine. Don't cheat that, don't cheat that. Exhale, sit back, chair pose. Inhale, right back to that flat back. Exhale, bend those knees. and then sweep those hands nice and tall right back to heart center. Good. Let's do it 2 more times as we inhale, reach, and exhale, come on down. Inhale up to that flat back, and exhale, chair pose. Sit back, tailbone closer to the ground. Inhale up to that flat back, and exhale, sweep on down. Inhale up, nice and tall, and exhale to heart center. Good. 1 more time as we inhale and reach for it. Exhale, come on down. Inhale up to flat back. Exhale, chair pose. There we go. Inhale up to flat back. Exhale, bend those knees, sink down, and inhale, sweep up, nice and tall. And exhale to heart center. Rest those thumbs on our hearts and find mountain pose. Tadasana, as it's called. Very nice, very nice. Good. All right, just gonna get my block in position. I'm gonna start facing you in our first standing sequence of poses. We'll have our right foot forward and left foot back. We're gonna initially find an isometrical holding position in the pose, and then we're gonna add a dynamic to the pose, something a little bit moving. Good, so for warrior 1, both feet on the ground, heels to toes, left foot pointing slightly out to the left side, hips slightly coming forward, shoulders squaring up, and then arms up, but those shoulders are rolled down and away from our ears. Good, a nice deep bend into that right knee, maybe that right knee's hovering right above the ankle, and that knee's pointing towards our pinky toe, so much so we can look down and see our big toe, maybe our second toe. Might be feeling a nice deep stretch on that left side through those hip flexors. That's right. Good. Now from here, we're going to add a little bit of a dynamic, a little bit of a push and pull. So with our hands, we're going to reach forward, sink deeper into that knee, reach, push, and then pull back and lengthen the leg. Do that 4 more times. Push and pull. Good. Drive those hands, push and pull. 3 more. Push and pull. Nice. I'm feeling a lot of that energy on that front side. Excellent. 1 more time, push and pull, but keep this leg long. Keep this leg long. I'm going to turn to the side now. Okay, so keeping that leg long. You stay facing front. Keep that leg long. Okay, with that leg long, we can square up hips and shoulders, and we're going to find pyramid pose. But we're going to hinge, and when we're going to find pyramids, we're going to stop halfway. Either arms forward or back, but we're going to stop halfway as if we're in that half lift, and making our crown of our head to our tailbone about parallel to the ground. Okay, that'll give us still a nice stretch on the back of that right leg from our heel up to our glutes. Now let's all bring our hands forward, thumbs up toward the sky, and we're going to take both elbows and draw them back, tapping to our ribs, and reach back forward. Engaging our core a little bit more. Inhale on the reach, exhale as we draw those elbows back. Breathing in and out through the nose or mouth. Still that nice deep 3-part breath. A total of 5 here. Good. When we're done with 5 of these dynamics, we're going to find triangle pose. Front foot stays right where it's at. That back foot's going to point to the left side, perpendicular to that front foot. And we either find above or below the knee on the leg with that right hand, or on the block, back hand up toward the sky. Again, initially finding that triangle pose. And not trying to go too deep here, considering less is more with triangle pose. Still a soft bend in that knee, and the only thing I did from that pyramid pose was took my shoulders and hips, instead of squared to the ground, I now open up and face the side. Excellent. Our dynamic, we're going to circle this top arm like we're a guitar hero. So we're going to exhale and bring it through, and inhale and reach it nice and high. Who's your favorite guitarist? Okay, that's what we're doing right here. And we're going to go a total of 5 right here. Exhale through and inhale. Get some mobility in through those shoulders, reach and up nice and high. Good. 1 more time. Inhale all the way up and exhale, bring it through. Let's meet with that hand up top, pointing straight up toward the sky. If it bothers your shoulder, of course, hand to the hip. Now put a deep bend into that front knee, that right knee, and find right angle pose, either forearm on top of the leg, or that right hand on top of the block, or even down towards the ground where you can float that hand. From here, we're going to reach overhead, extend that right angle, and then lift. Good. Reach and lift. Nice. Give me 3 more. Reach into those ribs, through those shoulders, and lift. 2 more. Reach and lift. Last time. Reach, and then when we lift, let's come back. Exhale to Warrior 2 pose. Good. Find that nice Warrior 2. Feet didn't move at all. Knee didn't move at all. We're keeping still in that nice deep pose right here. Arms out and nice and long. Ears over shoulders over hips. Good. Tall posture. Our dynamic here is we're going to turn our palms up toward the sky and sweep our hands up nice and high, lengthening that front leg. Inhale, and then exhale, knee towards those toes. Rebend that knee. Inhale, palms up. Exhale, palms down. Good. Give me that 3 more times. Inhale. And exhale. Good. That looks great. Keep it going. Making sure we're not leaning forward or back. 1 more time. Inhale. And then sink into that Warrior 2. We're going to flip that front hand. Exhale, reach forward. Inhale, lift that front hand to the sky. Reverse Warrior. Back hand to the leg or hip or wrap it around your waist. Good. Reach it nice and high. Create that space. Fingertips through the shoulder, through the ribs, and down to the hip. Now from here, we're just going to straighten the leg and rebend the knee, making sure it's still going towards our pinky toes. Inhale, reach higher. Exhale, sink deeper. Inhale, lift, and exhale on down. 3 more. Inhale, and exhale. Good. One more time. Here we go. Nice deep bend in that knee. Outstanding. Let's find Warrior 2, and then let's come out of this, and we'll do the same thing other side. Excellent job. Right there. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Moving on to the other side. Great job in those isometrics and those dynamics. Okay, it just gives a different feel to this. Keeps our body moving. Okay, as well as keeps our leg engaged. So that leg might need to be shaken out just a little bit. All right, Warrior 1, left side. So left foot forward, right foot's totally on the ground but pointing to the right side. So both heels and toes on the ground. Deep bend in that left knee, pointing towards our pinky toes. Good. And just watch that that knee's not caving in. If you're looking at that knee and you can see your whole foot on the outside of your knee, wrong position, that's going to cause knee pain over time. Okay, if you can't see your foot at all, it still needs to be moved out just a little bit. See that pinky or that big toe or that second toe. All right, that's enough isometric. Push and pull time. Here we go. Bring those palms driving forward. Push. And then lengthen that leg and pull. Good. Exhale. Push. And inhale and lift. Good. Exhale. And good. Give me 3 more. Good alignment on our body. Shoulders squaring up. Knee to the toes. Sinking in deeper. Be aware of that back ankle and how it feels. Okay. That should guide some of your depth as well. Last time, push and pull, and then stay with a long leg. Stay with a long leg. Squaring up hips and shoulders, we're going to find pyramid pose as we hinge. But we're only going to stop halfway. We're not bringing our hands down to the ground like we normally would with pyramid. Okay? Still getting that nice engaging stretch up the back side of that left leg. Awesome. I'm going to stay in this position right here, and then I'll switch as we get into the next one. Let's bring our hands forward, thumbs up toward the sky. Only if that's comfortable with those shoulders, of course. Exhale as you bring those elbows towards the ribs. Inhale and reach forward. Exhale and draw back. Inhale and extend out. Exhale, ribs and elbows. Inhale, extend. Good. 2 more. Exhale and inhale. And then exhale and inhale. Let's find triangle pose now. I'm going to turn to the side and show you how I get there. Okay, shoulders, hips square to the ground. I'm going to turn those shoulders and hips out, and I'm going to turn that back foot perpendicular to that front foot. Boom, stack those shoulders, arm up toward the sky. Left hand above or below the knee on the leg or on that block. Good. Settle into this. Find that isometric, that hold position right here. Really feeling that nice stretch on the adductor inside part of our leg and the top side of our body. Now we're really going to reach in that top side of our body. As we hit that guitar note, we're going to exhale and sweep that arm through. Little Stevie Ray Vaughan right here. Inhale it back up. Exhale, bring it through. Whew. There we go. 3 more. Little pride and joy, Stevie Ray Vaughan. All right, last time, exhale and inhale it right back up. Keep that arm up there, and then put a deep bend into that front knee in finding right angle pose. Either hand stays onto that block, floats, or forearm on top of the leg. Avoid the knee. Hands straight up initially, then we're going to extend that right angle, reach and lift. 4 more just like that. Reach and lift. Exhale, reach and lift. Good. Keep going. Keep going. Outstanding. 1 more time, reach and then lift, and let that lift carry you all the way to Warrior 2. Coming right back to Warrior 2. Very nice. Legs didn't move at all. Knee hovering right above the ankle. Hips and shoulders squared up to the right side. Okay, that right foot is perpendicular to that front. Good. And a good tall posture. Finding that Warrior 2 spots, that position. Now let's add that dynamic as we turn our palms up. Inhale, lengthen that leg. Exhale, and sink in deeper. Inhale. And exhale on down. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more. Stand nice and tall. Ears over shoulders over hips. And last one. Good. It's time for reverse warrior now. Exhale, flip that front hand. Inhale, lift that front hand. That right hand on the leg or back around your waist. Reach nice and high. Reach out of that shoulder. Reach as high as you can with those left fingertips. Okay? All right, creating that space. With that knee bent, we're going to inhale and lengthen the leg. Keep the hand right there. Inhale, lift, and exhale, sink into the leg. Then inhale, lift, and exhale. 3 more. Inhale, and knees to toes. Keep it going. 2 more. Inhale and exhale. And last time, in and out. Find Warrior 2. And come on out of this. There we go. All right. Have to dismount out of our Warrior 2. What's going on? Okay. All right. Very nice. We're going to find chair pose. I'm going to initially face to the side. So just imagine I'll start right here, facing the front. Right at the front of our mats. Okay. So let's find chair pose. Let's find chair pose. Feet and knees separated or feet and knees together. Tailbone to the ground. Hands up or at heart center. Find that chair. Whew. All right. So breathing into this, using that breath to help us cope with how our legs might be feeling right now in this one. Okay, I'm just going to stay aside right now. Okay, from chair pose. We're going to find awkward chair, which means we're going to lift our heels up, keep our balls of our feet and toes on the ground. Squeezing those calves, lifting those heels as high as we can. Excellent. From here, we're going to find airplane pose. Drop the heels down, hands back by the hips. By the hips. Nice long spine like we're in that flat back without our hands on our shins. So imagine you're sitting your tailbone on the back wall behind you. That dynamic stretch through those hamstrings into your glutes and lower back. From here, trying to be as quiet as we can, meaning not moving too much of our upper body. We're going to stabilize on our right foot, lift our left heel, find Warrior 3. Warrior 3. You can keep those hands right there. Or if you'd rather have them at heart center or forward, go ahead and shift them around. And we're going to find crescent pose from warrior three. So we're going to put a bend in that right knee, set those left toes down, back heel stays up off the ground. Good, arms up. Whew, all right. From crescent pose, squaring up hips and shoulders to the front of our mat, sinking in deeper, experiencing a little bit of a side-to-side balance. And then we're going to lean in and lift. So exhale, forward, hands back. Inhale, thumbs to the back of the room. Reach up nice and high and sink in even deeper to that left hip. Do that 4 more times. Exhale and inhale. Good. Keep going. Exhale and inhale. I'm going to turn and face you. Keep going. One last time. Exhale and inhale. Keep those hands right up at the sky. Bring them together, heart center. Then lean forward like we're going into that flight left elbow to the outside of that right leg. Palms together. A lot of tension on those fingertips, on the palms of those hands, pressing towards each other, and then subsequently that left elbow pushing to the outside of that right leg. Can also reduce the range of motion and come up a little higher. Good stretch right here on the outside of those hips and glutes and into our lower back. Breathe through it. Breathe through it. Awesome. As we exhale, come back to center and step forward. Step forward. Good. Nice job there. All right. Same thing. We're going to come back to the front of our mat and let's find chair pose yet again. Chair pose yet again. I'm just going to stay facing this same direction, okay, on this one. All right, so let's find chair pose, feet and knees together, hands to heart center or hands forward. Whew. Sinking into that, using that breath again to help us deal with the challenge of chair pose. Now let's find awkward chair, lifting up those heels, pressing in those toes and the balls of our feet. There we go. A lot more of a balance challenge right there. Find that strength and be comfortable with where you're at today. From here, we're going to find airplane pose. Lengthen those legs, set those heels down, hands back, long spine, crown of our head to our tailbone. Nice and long. Settle into that and sit back into that as if we're bringing our tailbone to the back room. From here, we're going to find warrior three without moving too much. Settling that left foot down this time, that right heel's going to lift up off the ground. Hips and shoulders stay square, hands can stay right there, or at heart center or extending forward. Breathe in through this, couple more breaths. And then out of warrior three, we're going to find crescent pose. Putting a deeper bend in that left knee, setting down those right toes. Back heel stays up off the ground. Squaring up hips and shoulders to the front. Excellent. All right. Finding that good crescent pose, finding that depth. We'll initially settle in, and then we'll add the dynamic, and here we go. Exhale, fan those arms back, lean forward, inhale, thumbs to the back of the room. 4 more. Exhale, come forward, and inhale. And lift, keep going. Exhale. All that energy on that left side. Inhale, open up that right hip. 2 more times. Exhale and in. And then last time. Exhale and in. Fan those arms up. Bring those hands together to heart center. Lean forward. Exhale. Right elbow to the outside of that left knee. Press those hands together. Try and keep them at our heart center as we rotate and turn. Good. Deep breaths. Stay in it. Doing great. All right. Looking good, looking good. Take a nice inhale, and on the exhale, come back to center and then step forward. Perfect. All right. One more standing series with a little balance involved with it, and then we'll continue to move on. Let's find crescent pose. Square up hips and shoulders. Hips and shoulders. I'm going to put that block in front because we're going to end up in standing balance pigeon, okay? So if you have a block, maybe that's a good spot for it. All right, deep bend in that knee, back heel up, squaring up hips and shoulders towards the front. Let's find a little bit of a side bend. So that right hand comes onto our tailbone, left hand sweeps up toward the sky, press our hips to the left side. Deep stretch into that left hip. Try not to overdo it, but try to feel something across the top of those hips and quads on that left side. Soften through the arch in that left foot, just let that heel naturally fall. Good. And play around with the depth of that right knee. And then with the strength of that right leg, we're going to draw our left knee up and hold on to our left knee. So stand tall and grab our left knee. From here, we're going to bring our toes toward our shins, dorsiflexion on those toes. We're going to bring our left knee above left ankle above our right knee. Create a little figure four and drop the knee down. And then sit down as if we're sitting into a single leg chair. Tailbone closer to the ground and sit down. Little deeper stretch into the hip. And I have the block right here because we can either practice balance, stay up a little bit more upright, or we can play around with the block and just put our hands there on that little pedestal and allow us to sink in and get a deeper stretch in through the hips. Awesome. Take a nice big inhale, and on the exhale, release on out. Good stuff. Same thing, other side. So that left foot forward, right foot back, crescent pose. Deep bend in that knee. Back heel up off the ground, soften that arch. All right. And then we'll find that side bend. So left hand comes behind our back, just rest it on our tailbone. Right hand reaches up. Press our hips to the right side. Open up that right side. Just a slight lean. So if we're just trying to just nudge our hip onto the right wall. Deep bend in that left knee. Just play around with that. And then strength on that left leg. As we come back front and center, stand tall, right knee lifts. There we go. Bring those right toes toward the shins, keep them there. That locks that right knee into place. Then bring that right ankle above the left knee. And then sit down as if we're sitting in a single leg chair. Good. And again, either just stay away from the block and practice balance and stretch. Or sink in even deeper and get into that stretch. You can see me just grab my leg. It's okay to do that. It's okay to do that. All right. One last breath, inhale and exhale and release. Okay, let's do another balance option right here. And we're going to stand on our right foot. This is going to focus on opening our hips into more of a runner's balance position. So a lot of dynamics, and then we're going to hold. I'm just going to turn it at a little bit of an angle here, just so you can see your right foot on the ground. Take that left knee and just start sweeping that left knee around, getting that hip open. So we'll start initially in this mode, standing tall. And then we're going to add the runner's balance here. So as we sweep that foot around, sweep that heel back, and find the runner's balance, a deep bend into that right knee. Bring it around and bend in. And again, round and sink in. One more time, dynamically. And this next time we find runner's balance, we're going to hold. We're going to hold. No bends in that right knee. Hold that position. Stay right there. Stay right there. It's like we hit pause We hit pause on the video. We hit pause on the song. This is where we're at. 3, 2, and same thing other side. Good. All right. A little dynamic to isometric this time. All right, left foot on the ground, right knee, moving around. Start tall, just working that hip. Even right there is a little bit of balance. And then now start adding that runner's lunge. That runner's balance, I'm sorry. Do 4 of these moving, and on the 5th, you hold. On that 5th one, find that hold in that freeze frame. Breathe, focus, find something to stare at, little focal point. Find the calm, getting stronger, staying calm, and exhale, and release. All right, there we go. Very nice. You probably thought your video froze right there and you had Wi-Fi issues, right? No, not at all. Let's come on down to the ground. Take a seat. Take a seat. Good stuff. Both feet forward. Toes toward the shins when we get there. And let's breathe in nice and tall. Exhale and forward fold. Reach as far as you can forward. When you can reach no further, then you stabilize by grabbing onto the feet, the ankles, or the shins, or just rest those hands beside the legs. Just allow this stretch to reach into your lower back and those glutes and those hamstrings. And when we think about forward fold, conventional thought, or probably what we learned in gym class was, let's see how close I can get my nose to my knees. What we really want to think about here is the length of our head going past our feet. Okay, so just if there was a continuum, if there was a line that was a continuum, just think about it on the plane going past our feet, and then our tailbone going in the opposite direction. So almost like an earthquake fault line moving past each other. Think about it that way. Versus trying to get our nose down towards our knees. Not necessary. Not necessary, and can cause a little bit of harm that's unnecessary. Good. As we exhale, go ahead and release. And let's take that left foot and put a bend in that knee, foot to the inside or the outside of that right knee. That left hand can become behind our back and either the right elbow to the outside of that left knee or give that left leg a hug with that right arm. Stay tall as we rotate and turn. Whew. My lower back's quite tight today, especially in this direction. Not sure why. And so we sit nice and tall and we breathe. Take one more breath and we'll come back to center and then switch sides. So that right foot, that right leg bends, right foot to the inside or the outside, right hand behind us, and that left elbow to the outside of the leg, or give that right leg a hug as we rotate. Stay tall and breathe. Couple more breaths right here. And exhale as we come back to center. Good. All right, let's put a bend in both knees, heels on the ground. We're going to go to half boat. Half boat, let me just turn to the side. Okay, half boat, which means we're going to sit back a little bit, hands to the side, right leg extends, kick those toes up, keep that left heel down. Hands can stay to the side of those arms out nice and wide, just holding that half boat. Good. Nice tall posture here. Practice that nice tall posture, crown of our head to our tailbone. Practice the control, even though that leg's kind of shaking, that foot's kind of shaking. And then let's go ahead and switch to the other side. Exhale it down. Inhale the left toes up. Here we are. Find the control, find the steadiness of not only the breath, but the posture. One more breath, inhale, and then exhale, release. Very nice. Okay, sit forward, wrap those arms around those legs. I was heading in the right direction, just wasn't narrating as I was doing it. So bound boat, which means we're going to keep our arms wrapped around those legs. You can have your hands just behind the knees if you want to. And we're just going to sit back. This is less about core and more about balance. More about balance just on our tailbone. So just begin rocking back a little bit, lift those heels up off the ground. And if you want, you can start lengthening those legs a little bit more, keeping those arms bound around those legs. So you find it's a little bit less in core, or a little bit less core engagement, more just finding that balance. Find the calm of our body, the steadiness and control. Very nice. Let's exhale, release forward. All right. From here, let's lengthen the right leg, and we're going to put a bend into our left leg, bringing our our left ankle above our right knee. So, like we did standing pigeon, but we're sitting down doing it. Okay, so create that figure four, left toes toward the shins, locks that knee into place, hands to the side, and begin putting a bend into your right knee. Either heel down on the ground or the whole foot on the ground, and just find that spot where it feels like it's meaningful to you without overdoing it. Meaningful but not aggressive. Okay, maybe that's a way to say it. Right, and then sit tall and lean forward towards the leg. So a seated version of pigeon. We did the standing version of pigeon and really got into that hip. Okay, and then we're going to do a tabletop version of pigeon. So you're welcome to stay right here. You don't have to follow along. Make sure your fingertips are facing towards your feet. On this one, we're going to begin lifting our hip up off the ground, dropping our left knee down. Pressing that right foot in. There we go. And then just nice neutral spine, which means just let that head sit back. Make sure those shoulders are hovering right above that, the wrists and hands. You'll feel a nice stretch through those shoulders and into our heart and chest and even biceps. And a little bit deeper stretch into the hips as well. Good. As we exhale, release down gently. And let's do the same thing, other side. Initially lengthen that left leg, put a bend into that right, and bring that right ankle above the left knee onto the leg. Little figure four, right toes toward the shins, locks that knee into place. Hands to the side, let's begin bending that left leg and just find the spot that works for you. Okay, it may not be where my foot is, and so you find that nice position on your hip. Okay, good. Sit nice and tall, lean forward into this. And fingertips facing towards the feet. That just protects your shoulders, protects your biceps as we begin lifting our hips up now, tabletop pigeon. Drop that right knee down. That left knee should hover above the left ankle. Just lifting those hips up, squeezing through your glutes and lower back. And then neutral spine, just let that head sit back. Good stretch through the shoulders and the biceps up top. Multiple things happening, so much happening right here. Exhale and release on down. Very nice. Very nice. Let's go ahead and grab behind the knees, interlock those ankles, and then slowly come down onto our backs. Slowly come down onto our backs. And initially, bring those feet and knees about hip distance apart and begin windshield wipering the legs. Just a little windshield wiper. Good, side to side. That helps us loosen up our lower back. Feeling one hip lift and one hip sink in. And then next time both knees point to the right side, go ahead and set both knees down on that right side or toward that right side. Okay, and then just position our hips so they're perpendicular. Position the hips so they're perpendicular to the ground. So that left knee is down towards the ground. Take that right ankle and just rest it above that left knee. just above that left knee, and then try and bring your shoulder blades down to the ground. Extend your left hand out and look at your left hand in the opposite direction that your knees are pointing. So you feel a rotation, a twist, and then a deeper stretch to that top hip, which is the left side. Very nice. Let's release out of this. Go back to those windshield wipers just for a moment. We'll do that one more time, and when both knees point to the left side, go ahead and drop the knees down to that left side. Stack those hips, go and just move them around to where your hips are perpendicular. Drop that right knee down, but then take that left ankle and set it on top of your right leg. Extending your right arm out to the side, and look at that right arm in the opposite direction your knees are pointing. Very nice. Gently release here. Good. A couple more windshield wipers on those knees. Just side to side. And then we'll head towards reclining goddess. Reclining goddess. Bring our feet and knees together, knees still bent. And then bring the soles of our feet together, drop those knees down. Drawing those heels into our glutes a little bit more. Let those knees just fall down towards the ground. And those hands either to the side, you can bring those hands up overhead if you want to, and get in full surrender mode on this pose. Just relaxing, letting those hips relax, those hip joints and those muscles. If you want something a little bit extra on this, we can take that block and we can place it underneath our tailbone. Lift it up our hips and just put it under our tailbone, supporting our hips, and then still let those knees drop down to the side. So supported reclining goddess. Take a few more moments right here. One more breath. You're welcome to stay here as long as you want. Or we can release out of this and find our final relaxation, Shavasana pose. Which means just totally sprawling out on our mats or wherever you're most comfortable taking Shavasana, whether it's seated or laying down. I'm going to dim the lights real quick. The Shavasana song is called Gravity, if you're following along on the playlist, number 44. And it's about third or fourth from the bottom. So you can go ahead and start that. And as we get into Shavasana, just allow our body to relax. Allow our body to sprawl out on the mat and the ground beneath us. Allow our body to release any tension it might still be holding on to through the shoulders, through the glutes, through the back of the legs and the feet and the hands. Allow that breath to just become a natural everyday breath. And if it's comfortable, let our eyelids just drape gently on our eyes as we close our eyes. And then seek stillness with our body. Seek stillness with our body. And as we find stillness, it allows our body and mind to interact with our practice and the benefits of what we just did for ourselves today. As we find this relaxing position, find the restful nature, allow yourself to experience the moment for what it is right now. For what it is right now. So the mode that we're in right now is we think things should be this or things should be that. And when we find that we're setting expectations like that or judging our own situations, I should be doing more of this, I'm not doing as much of that, I'm slacking on this during this time frame, then we're stealing from our ability to just experience the moment for what it is. Experiencing the moment for what it is. And so when we release these expectations, when we release this judgment, we are free then to enjoy things for what they are, as opposed to what we think they should be. There's nothing we have to do. There's no place we have to be. And so we allow ourselves the compassion. Allow yourself to walk in your own shoes. And just be in your own shoes. It's okay. You're in competition with no one right now. This is just you working through this with your loved ones nearby. So let's allow ourselves to find that grace and that compassion. Our closing message. Fall in love with just taking care of you. Taking care of you. Fall in love with the path of deep healing, with the path of understanding, with the path of being. And falling in love with becoming the best version of yourself right now, where you're at. But do so with patience. Do so with compassion and with respect for your own journey. I honor the love and light in each of you as it's also within me. Namaste.